With activity planned, scripted, and recorded, it's time to visually capture everything so that story is told as we initially thought. This phase is called the post-production phase. All video editors have key features which we must be familiar with. Let us discuss these features one by one. We will take help of DaVinci Resolve user interface for the same. This is the Windows version of the free editing software. Keep in mind, we are discussing features and not software specific keys or shortcuts for now. This is not a tutorial on how to use any specific video editor. Let's get started. We'll create a base folder by the activity name itself, Fleming's left hand rule. Let us create 4 subfolders inside so that contents can be copied accordingly. We'll copy all the video files and images recorded while performing an activity. Almost 3 GB data to work with. We may not need all of it. Images and videos are captured with my smartphone camera. We can go through all the details here. Frame rate for the video is 30 frames per second. That should be the rate we can set in our editor as well. Let us quickly review the footage and rename the file with proper title and sequence in which we want it. We will import this media into our video editor. We can import one file at a time or use drag and drop feature to import multiple files. Key attributes of the video like frame rate, resolution can be seen here. We can quickly preview each file by double clicking on it. This is the preview window. Timeline is the most important concept in editing. Let us drag this video on the timeline. Editing videos on the timeline is a mixture of both art and science. There are lots of effects, interesting and cool things you can try. But as with many things in life, less is more. It is called a timeline because the various pieces of the video will be lined up horizontally, with footage on the left displaying before footage on the right. The media sits on the timeline and can be made up of video, audio, text, images, etc. When we recorded our activity, we recorded two things, video as well as audio. Video part of the clip is placed on the video track of the timeline, while audio part of the same clip is placed on the audio track of the timeline. This line divides the two types of tracks. Video tracks are above this line, while audio tracks are below the line. This is called playhead. We can place it anywhere on the timeline. Preview window will show the collective content at that point in time. You can zoom in and out the timeline as per your need. Video tracks are placed like this, V1, V2, V3 and so on. Only the topmost track will be visible if there are multiple tracks at any particular point in time. Audio tracks are arranged downwards, A1, A2 and so on. In case of audio though, it all mixes into one. This clip is 5 minutes long. Let's remove it from the timeline for now. Marking clips using in and out points lets you refine the portion of the clip you want to use in the edit. Drag the playhead to the frame you want, then click the in and out buttons at the bottom right corner of the viewer to mark the start and end points of the clip. Audio and video can be marked separately. You can drag and drop clip directly into the timeline. You can drag only video as well or only audio as well. Multiple mark in and out are possible for the same clip in the preview window. After you have placed few clips on the timeline, you can rearrange them with simple commands or by dragging clips with your mouse. Other important functions which are available with video editors include tools for cutting, splitting, zooming in for a close view of your timeline. We'll look at these details separately. Now let us go through important features one by one. These features may be done differently based on the video editor you are using. Useful information can be presented with the help of labels. We can grab this default label from the effects library and drop it on the second video track. Let us use inspector window to edit the label. We can look at the current properties of the label and change it. Here we can change text, font, size and color of the text. We can adjust the position of the label on the screen. It should be nearer to the object. Just like a video clip, duration for which the label is visible on the screen can be adjusted. 2-3 seconds are enough for a single word. But you can take a call. Use font color keeping in mind the background color. Contrast works best. In this case, black color is better than the white one used earlier. We can drag these points on the label so that text fades in and out as it is displayed. Labels, once set, can be copied to other positions on the timeline. That way, consistent look and feel is maintained. It is always better to sync the appearance of the label with narration. Font size should be such that labels are readable on the mobile screen as well. Mobile screens are mostly used by students to watch videos and take online sessions instead of desktop PC. Size should not be too large to cover real estate on the screen or too small that it becomes unreadable. Adding background to the label sometimes helps when the activity background is not favorable. Ensure that color combination is good enough from readability point of view. You can also use local language labels along with the English ones. This will help students who do not follow English that much. The effects library has transitions we can use. There are many transitions available. Cross dissolve is my favorite. I can simply drag the transition I want onto the timeline between the clips. The duration of transition can be changed by dragging the edges of the transition in the timeline. Here I wanted to remove the part of placing the second needle on the container. I added transition between the two clips to make it look nicer. Video clips can also have fade in and fade out effect just like we did with labels. Just like labels, Inspector tab can be used to change the way video clip is presented on the screen. We can zoom in, out, change its position, rotate it, and crop it. These operations are equally valid for labels, images, and graphics as well. In order to explain certain concept, we can use images in the video and draw on the same. Here, I am using 3D Paint app, which comes with Windows by default. We can open image in 3D Paint app and use all its features. All this action can be captured with the help of a screen recorder app, mainly TinyTake, which is what I use. There can be other screen recorder app as well, which you can try. Let us open audio folder. It has two files. One is about the narration, while other one is background music. Let us import these files. We'll add narration on the first audio track, A1. We can hear the same as playhead moves on the timeline. Earlier, we discussed Fleming's left-hand rule. Let's look at the video again. We will take this wire and remove insulation from both ends. Now, we can select part of the footage which matches with the narration. We'll select only video part of the footage. Audio is not required at this point. Let us cut short the video contents to match the timing of the audio for that particular section. Here, cut wire is momentarily visible. Let us freeze the frame here. Freezing means making its speed 0. Let us add some transition as well. We will use keyframe feature to gradually zoom in on the wire. Keyframe feature we'll discuss later. We will take this wire and remove insulation from both ends. Let us cut audio before the clip as well. We can adjust video and audio for this one action only. Let us take help of a label to indicate what we have done on the screen. Remove insulation from both ends. Our graphics folder has lots of shapes. These are PNG files which we can use in our project. These shapes can be used to highlight areas on the screen, indicate direction, groupings, animation, etc. Once a shape or PNG file is imported in the project, it is treated like any other media file. It can be sized, positioned, or zoomed in and out to suit our purpose. We will take this wire and remove insulation from both ends. Let us add the title to our video. It can be a simple label or fancy animated one already available in your editing software. We'll add some background music as well. I will drag it on the second audio track. Unlike video tracks, all audio tracks are mixed together on the playhead. Earlier, we discussed Fleming's left hand rule. Let's look at the video again. Background music is also mixed along with the narration. Duration of the music track is longer than that of a narration. We'll have to cut the tail part of the music track and match it with the length of narration. Let us add some fade out effect towards the end as well. We will reduce the level of background music so that narration is heard clearly. Earlier, we discussed Fleming's left hand rule. Let's look at the video again. But this is not required all the time. We can play with the level of background music and adjust it as per our needs. It can be louder when no narration is present. Fade in and fade out effects at these points add a very pleasant transition. Let's look at the video again. We will take this wire and remove insulation from both ends without direct connection or without touching other components in the setup. We can change the speed of the video to suit our needs. It can be made faster when we want it to quickly cover any action or slower when we want to explain certain event in detail. Here, the movement of wire is too quick. We'll reduce the speed by 50%. It's still fast. Let's reduce it to 20% of the original speed. On the timeline, I can move forward one frame at a time and pause video where I want frame for a longer duration. This is called freezing the frame or making speed at that point 0. Now I can use this frozen frame to talk more about the event. Draw lines on it to support the explanation. I will cut part of the frozen frame and reset its speed. Comparing two events side by side is a good practice. In our case, changing the direction of current also changes the direction of force acting on the conductor. Instead of showing these two events separately, two events can be presented in one frame side by side. Let us copy two clips we are interested in at a different location on the timeline. We will use two tracks for this purpose. Two clips overlap for some part of the timeline. In the lower track, the wire moves towards us. In the upper track, wire moves away from us. But when the playhead moves over the clips, only the upper one is visible. We can change the position of individual clip. We need to crop some parts of it as well. Let us add label on the third track which mentions what is happening. Keyframe in animation and filmmaking is a drawing or shot that defines the starting and ending points of a smooth transition. Keyframe can be defined for any media on the timeline. Attributes of the media which are available for this is software specific. In our example, we will use graphics. Let us say we want to show that insulation is removed. Instead of blue circles, we can use red lines to begin with. With the help of the editor and timeline, we can instruct software to mark the start and end position for each red line. Remove insulation from both ends. Safe area feature takes care of all the screen sizes your video may be watched on. New phones have a zoom to full screen feature which crops the video. Not all phones have 16:9 aspect ratio. To ensure that labels and important actions are seen by all the users, it's better to position your text inside the safe area. This wire and remove insulation from both ends. Let us place these text near the boundary and see how it is rendered on different phone screens. With all the key editing features done, narration added, background music in place, it's time to render our final video. Editors have various options when it comes to exporting our video contents on the timeline. I will go with standard ones with MP4 as an output format. My video is 2 minutes 30 seconds long and it's almost 105 megabyte in size. It is rendered at 25 frames per second by the software. Let's play initial part of it. Earlier, we discussed Fleming's left-hand rule. End slide is added to give credits to music composer as well as leave my email address. Here is a one-pager script I wrote for this video. Maybe you are interested in looking at it. Thank you.